What's up, everybody? It's Steve with Press Start News, back again with another Video Games Monthly unboxing. And I got a small stack of recent pickups here, so we'll go through those real quickly after we unbox this. So let's get into it. Alright, so let's get into the Video Games Monthly box. For those that don't know, Video Games Monthly is a subscription service. Every month they send you a box of retro games. Depending on what systems you select, you tell them what games you have so they don't send duplicates. You can get 3, 4, 5, or 10 different price points for each one. This is the October box. So we're going to go ahead and open this up and get into it. And just right off the top, I see a couple of cards, so this is interesting. So we got a door hanger. Do not disturb, my VGM box just arrived. Pay the past into the future. So this is pretty cool. I've got a little Star Wars one that's hanging on my door right now, but when my VGM box comes in, I kind of don't want to be disturbed. So that's actually pretty good. That goes right in line with how things tend to go around here when the box arrives. I'll come back to this card in a second. Got the normal card that tells you to update your library. It doesn't update automatically. And for the first time since the first box, we got a 1-up. So that means I get a 5 box. So that means I got 6 games. And you are the proud owners of this month's Partners Pack. Your box was packed by the partners of VGM with the games they love. Enjoy. And it looks like Joe, I'm assuming that's Brian and Grant. It's kind of hard to see the names. So thanks, guys, first Partners Pack. So that's awesome. I did not expect that. They did have a post on their Facebook page where they showed a shelf of games. And said if you see anything here that you want, then let us know. Maybe you'll get it. So I did throw a couple of them on there. Hopefully, those are actually in the box. Since it's a Partners Pack, supposedly from what I hear with the Partners Pack, those tend to be the best boxes. So let's find out. Let's get right into it. Right on the top, we got a couple N64 games. Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Label's a little worn. Never been a big Tony Hawk fan, but this is the first one. I do remember playing the first one. I think we played it on the original Xbox. We played it quite a bit. The music was always really good in these games. They always had the licensed song. So, and of course, I love the blue cartridge. It's got it's a little worn for it's been through some things, but 64 games, I've never had a problem with 64 games running, but of course I always open and clean everything, so we'll see what we can get that to look like. So that's awesome. Another 64 game, Quest 64. So I've never played Quest 64. I've heard mixed things about it. Some people love it, some people think it's crap. I don't know. All I know is that it's an RPG. So we'll give it a go. Always good to add something else to the collection we don't have. Alright, and we got a Super Nintendo game, Wario's Woods. So I've never played Wario's Woods either. I've heard of it. Can't remember if this is one of Wario's games. Were always something different. Never was just a standard platformer like Mario. There were always some kind of puzzle game or some kind of strategy to it. But any Super Nintendo games, this is my favorite console. So any Super Nintendo games to add to the collection is welcome. Got a Genesis game here, and this is The Lion King. So The Lion King, I've said before, I love the 8-bit and 16-bit Disney games. The games, the cartoon games in general in that era of those two generations anyway, Always, not every game was great, but the Disney games tend to be some of the better ones. This game is not for kids. I mean, it is, but it's dumb hard. I mean, it's really, really hard. So, I remember seeing a meme a while back. It wasn't a meme. It was a picture of a note that a parent left a kid that said, or their kids that said that if you can make it past a certain level, it was like level 3 or something like that in Lion King, then you'll get something crazy that the kids have been wanting. And it said good luck and left them a copy of this cartridge. So I'm pretty sure those kids never got what they wanted, because game is stupid hard. Alright, got a couple of NES games here. Yes, this is one of the ones I asked for here. Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. So right now I didn't have any of the Castlevania games in cartridge form, but now I've got Castlevania 2. Not the better of the 3. The first one is probably my favorite, just because that was it the first? I think it was the first, aside from Mario Duck Hunt. The first Castlevania was the first Nintendo game I got with my original Nintendo, so somebody stole it from me. So, I've never gotten another copy of Castlevania since, so that's something I've been looking for. But my best friend had Simon's Quest, and I remember we played it quite a bit, and it was just a lot more expanded. And I think 3 kind of goes a little bit more back to the traditional way the game plays. So let's move on. I don't want to make the video too long. Like I kind of get a little long-winded sometimes. And the last game is also the other game that I asked for that was on that shelf, Super Mario Bros. 2. So I had 1, I had 3, but I didn't have 2, and I haven't come across it anywhere at a decent price other than the show that I went to. What was that? Was that last month? And in Charlotte, and there were just so many other games that took priority over getting this, so I kind of skipped out on it. But yeah, got it now. So now I've got all the Mario games, well, all the ones on Nintendo. Still missing Mario All-Stars on Super Nintendo. But of the main Mario platformer games, that would be the last one. That's not counting stuff like Mario's Missing, and, Mario Fun with Letters and stuff like that. Nobody really is actually looking for. And the other little trinket, I would think that the door hanger would be all they would provide, but no, VGM is good to us. And they provided a VGM button that has their mascot Floyd on there. So that's pretty cool. I don't know what I'm going to stick that on, because I don't really wear buttons, but I'll find something to actually hang it on. So that's pretty cool. I try to find little places to put VGM stuff around the room. So that's cool. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. This is a great box. As usual, I've never been disappointed with the boxes. Some have been better than others, but never been disappointed. In my collection is still growing, so any games that I get are always welcome from me. I just of course you don't want the sports games, the Maddens and stuff like that, but outside of that, it's always good. Alright, so let's get into the pickups real quick and go through these. I'm just going to start with this real quick, because it wasn't hard to get. A lot of people got it. I don't want to brag and act like I got something that other people didn't get, or that, haha, I got it and you didn't, for the people that weren't able to pick it up yet. But if you weren't, be patient. The Super Nintendo Classic Edition. I already said this is my favorite system. Yes, I have the original system. Yes, I collect games for it. But this little thing is just so cool and cute to have. I mean, it's this little bitty teeny thing, and it's just so fun. And then of course you got Star Fox 2 that was never released, that is in here, and which is an okay game. It's not, I kind of like the first one better, and in fact I prefer 64 better than either of the original two which is basically a remake of the first, but with elements from 2. But it's fun. It's fun, and there's some games on here that I never really got to spend time with. I've been playing a lot of F-Zero. I never actually owned that game, so that's one I've played very little of prior to getting this. And I'm going through A Link to the Past, the Zelda game that I never really got into Zelda. And it's just because I never owned it. I played the original Zelda a little bit, but I didn't own a copy of it, so I didn't have the opportunity to spend time on it. So kind of going back through those now and kind of, seeing what the hype on the originals are all about. I have Ocarina, but again, it didn't, other than for what it was at the time, it didn't catch me like everybody went into that. But I always thought Link to the Past looked like probably the best one and looks the coolest. So I've been spending some time on that, and that's actually a really, really good game. So I get it. All right, moving on. Couple of carts. Not in the best shape, but got Eternal Champions on Genesis. The label's got some bad wear on it. The whole top part is missing, but it was cheap. I think it was like $1 or $2 or something like that. So went ahead and grabbed that. Got Diddy Kong Racing on the 64. This is cleaned up. I cleaned this up. It looked really, really. It was nasty on the outside here, but the inside was still pretty clean. And I cleaned the board and everything. But yeah, it looks pristine now after I gave it a good cleaning. So glad to have that. Got a couple of NES games. Got Star Soldier, nice shooter if you've never played that, and game I've been looking for a while, and this is the first time that I've come across it outside of that show. And again, it was priced a little higher than I wanted to spend at the time, so this still was priced a little higher than I wanted, but I talked them down a little bit. The original Contra. So I've got Contra and Super C. And I actually have a sealed copy of Contra 3 on Super Nintendo, along with Super Castlevania 4. Both of those are sealed, so I need regular copies because I'm never going to open those. Yeah, they're never going to get opened. I mean, they're on my classic editions. I just play them on there, actually. Some disc-based stuff, go through real quick. So I got the first one, and that one was good. I figured, I've been trying to work out a bit more. So I got Your Shape Fitness Evolved 2012. It's a Kinect game for the 360. This does a lot more than the first one. You've got some floor exercises and some other stuff that the first one didn't actually look that far down and see you do that. So different stuff. On the original Xbox, got a stack of those. I got Namco Museum. So normally I wouldn't grab one of these Namco sets or some of these compilations, but this particular one has arranged modes or it's called arrangement for Pac-Man and Galaga and Dig Dug. Galaga in particular, if you've never played the arrangement version of Galaga, find a copy of this and try it out. It is insane. This game was also, actually the first time I played it was on GameCube. So I know it's on GameCube, it may be on PS2 as well. But it takes Galaga, the original Galaga, and flips it on its head. Oh, the whole thing just spins around, and it's bugged out. This is a lot of fun to play. So this was just a few bucks, so I figured why not? It's complete. Disc is in good condition, so I figured why not? Let's go ahead and add that. I got a copy of Voodoo Vince. This is a nice platformer. This is actually available on Xbox One now. I think they did like a remastered version of this. Cell Damage. This is like a kart racing game that's cell shaded from EA. Interesting little game. Crazy Taxi 3 High Roller. So Crazy Taxi. I need to get into that. The Chronicles of Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay. Now this is one of the better if not best licensed games based on a movie. Vin Diesel actually does his voice in the game. There's actually a couple other people from the movies that do voices in here, but this starts before, I think it starts before Pitch Black. But this was a really good game, and I never actually got a chance to finish it, but I played it quite a bit, and it's complete. The only thing that sucks about it is this copy anyway, is that the plastic on the casing is missing. It was broken, which I could switch that out with another case, but more than that, you probably can't really tell from here, but it's the guy that I bought a couple of these from. You can see it on Sale Damage too. I guess he'd had his stuff sitting out in the sun for quite a while, and it's got some sun damage, so it's a little faded on the front. So I was a little disappointed in that, but for what it cost, and I hadn't seen Riddick anywhere, I figured I'd go ahead and grab it. Got another one, which is, I think, also, if it's not on the Xbox One, it's 360, then I think it's backward compatible. Outworld Stranger's Wrath. This was a exclusive to the original Xbox. So it's a very different Outworld game where you actually play as the Stranger, which you can right there on the cover. And he has a crossbow, so it actually is more of a shooter kind of game that's in the universe of Oddworld that you know from Abe and Munch's Odyssey. So it was a very different game, very good game, a lot of fun, completely different. And then, yeah, give it a try. If you, like I said, it should be on. If at least it's on the 360, I think it's on the Xbox One as well. That you can try that. Last couple games, I got a GameCube, Need for Speed Underground. I just love Need for Speed, and Underground was one I honestly, if I remember correctly, I liked Underground 1 better than 2, but both of them are pretty good. Those two Most Wanted, those were just like, you know, the phenomenal Need for Speed games in the series, along with Hot Pursuit. Both Hot Pursuits actually are really good, but yeah, had to grab that when I saw that. And I don't usually pick up Wii games, but I saw Metroid Other M, and I don't have this one. We played the Prime games, but Other M I never played, and I've heard mixed things about it, so I figured it was something, you know, with the hype with the new Metroid that's on the GameCube. I mean, not GameCube, the 3DS. I figured it was something that was worth a try, and for what I paid for it, I figured why not. So that's it. That's everything that I got. If you got any comments or feedback about any of this stuff, any input, please let me know. Make a comment down in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, so whenever videos like this go up and other things that we have planned for the coming future go up, then you will know. You'll be able to see them in your feed. You can hit the little bell and it'll notify you whenever we get something coming up. So that's all for us. We're gonna wrap it up, and we'll catch you later.